The game, The Force Unleashed, the first one, is a classic Star Wars hit, starring someone I sort of have a bro crush on, who also has a level 10 nerd card, Sam Witwer as Galen Marek, also known as Darth Vader's secret apprentice, codenamed Starkiller. The Force Unleashed is one of my favorite Star Wars games, mainly because of the uniqueness of the main character. Starkiller is one of the first fictional Jedi or Sith assassins, depending on how you like to play him, to make frequent use of the reverse grip or ice pick grip in his lightsaber style. Starkiller's style of lightsaber combat doesn't really fall neatly into one of the known lightsaber styles in Star Wars lore, but he's said to be versed in all of them so that he can recognize them in his opponents. Starkiller uses power strikes and aggressive spinning techniques that's most reminiscent of Form 5, also known as Xian or Jimso. In real life, the sword style is really more like a Chinese style than any kind of European or Japanese style, since those rarely use any kind of reverse grips at all, or a lot of the spinning parries that Starkiller uses. In this video, we'll cover how to do the Sith Flurry combo like Starkiller, and also how to stand and hold the lightsaber so that you look like Starkiller. This Sith Flurry does take some practice to make it look good. Is it practical for sparring or dueling? Almost certainly not. But if you're training to show off for your friends, this is a great beginner set to learn. First things first, let's talk about what Starkiller is best known for, the reverse grip. Many duelists don't like the reverse grip and consider it impractical or less versatile than the normal grip. I won't get into this topic for now, but perhaps in a future video. But Starkiller really only uses the reverse grip a small portion of the time. He transitions to a standard grip when in combat quite a bit. He also uses most of his parries against blaster fire in a reverse grip. He also moves and runs with the lightsaber behind him, which really makes a lot of sense when you think about it. If you're running through a lot of tight spaces, it's a lot easier to keep the lightsaber behind you where it's not going to destroy things. Another really cool thing that only Starkiller can do is he's able to change his grip with the Force by spinning the lightsaber in the flat of his palm. A feat that most of us without telekinesis cannot do, so we have to change our grip the good old-fashioned way, which we'll get into in a moment. Now let's talk about Starkiller's stance. Starkiller's stance is low to the ground, almost like a kung fu horse stance. Maybe not quite as low, but fairly low. The front foot is pointed pretty forward. The back foot is pointed almost at a 90-degree angle, but slightly forward. His body is leaned slightly forward. His torso is leaned slightly forward. Also notice the blade is pretty much at a 45-degree angle along the back shoulder. And you'll notice again here, no matter which way he's facing, there's a gap between the legs, between the 2 feet. So from the front, you're going to see a bit of a gap between the 2 feet. This makes sense for keeping good balance. All of Starkiller's starting strikes start from this position. He starts from here and swings the lightsaber forward in a powerful strike, and the strike ends in an upright position out of reverse grip. Now at the end of every strike, Starkiller transitions from a reverse grip to a standard grip. He probably uses the Force to achieve this insanely fast transition, but there's one of 3 ways that we can do it as mere humans. One way is with the fingers, but this takes an enormous amount of muscle control and coordination, meaning a less powerful and quick strike. There are some ways you can practice this and get a quick and smooth transition. If you think you can do it, knock yourself out. Another way is a very quick throw and catch at the end of the strike, also requiring a lot of coordination. But my way is to simply use the other hand for an assist at the end of the strike to make the transition. True, Starkiller seems to do this strike exclusively with the right hand, but using the other hand to assist the grip change seems to be the quickest and smoothest way. From here in the game, you can choose to start the Sith Flurry combo if you want. To begin this first set of the Sith Flurry, Starkiller makes his underhanded strike and reverses his grip to a normal grip. Then he makes an overhead slash followed by a spin and a final slash to the right, where the blade is pointed at a 45-degree angle and another step forward. So again, he makes his underhanded slash, changes his grip, overhead spin, and slash. To get the overhead spin right, it's important not to overcommit with the second strike. So there are 4 strikes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you make strikes 2 and 3, here, 2, 3, and then 4, to get the speed, you shouldn't overcommit the length of those strikes, because these strikes are insanely fast, because Starkiller is using the Force. But we're not using the Force and we can do it. Strike, spin, strike. And also the footwork. Remember, there's a step, another step with the spins, and ending at a 45-degree angle to the right. Ending at a 45-degree angle is difficult, but it can be done with enough practice. On to the next set. We're starting with the blade pointed out at a 45-degree angle to the right. We're going to do an overhead strike forward with a step. The strike continues towards the back and another step, and then it swings out and across, and then back with another slash, the blade ending at the 45-degree angle. So again, we start with the blade at a 45-degree angle. We do an overhead strike, which is also a spin, continue it towards the back so that the blade is pointed up the back, and then spin it out and across the body, and another step and across the body again. You're actually stepping behind to manage this parry. Okay, step with an overhead strike, and behind, spin out, across the body again, ending at a 45-degree angle. This part looks cool, but the main thing is to get the footwork right, because you are stepping behind and swinging the saber out and across, and then across again. And eventually you'll pick up speed. This move has a lot of flow to it, but it looks cool. Now onto the final set. You're starting with the blade at the 45-degree angle to the right. You're going to make a step forward and do an uppercut. Bring the uppercut into a spin. When the saber is down, release and catch the saber. Step behind. Bring the saber behind the body and bring the torso down. Spin the saber. Make a step forward and bring the saber up to a cross slash with an underhanded grip. Starkiller actually uses the Force to make the saber flip. He spins it in the palm of his hand. We can't do that. Believe me, I tried. So what you're going to have to do is release the saber and catch it. So underhand uppercut with a step. Bring the saber down into a spin, release and catch. Bring the saber back behind you, bring the torso down, spin it behind your body, and then come back up with a step and a slash across. And then back to your Starkiller ready stance. So again, we begin with an uppercut and a step. Bring it down into a spin, release, catch. Bring the saber back and behind you, do a spin behind the back, and a step, and a slash across. The lower you go when you bring the torso down, the better it's going to look. So bring the torso down low. I didn't do it that low there. But if you bring it down low, the momentum will carry you forward and it'll have a really nice effect. Eventually you'll get to do the saber flip quickly, so it'll be barely perceptible. Uppercut, step, flip the saber, spin it behind the back, across. And a final time. Uppercut, saber flip, bring it across the back, come back up, and slash across. Put all these 3 sets together and practice. To get the moves right, practice it slowly at first, and gradually increase your speed. If you do this set over and over again, you'll get a good leg and torso workout. The torso workout is simply due to the dips in the final set. Obviously your arms and shoulders may take a hit if you have a heavier lightsaber. And if you do it fast, believe me, you'll get a great cardio workout. Master this, make it even better than how I do it, and if you ever go out on Halloween or do a cosplay at a sci-fi convention, not only will you look like Starkiller, you'll be able to fight like him. Perhaps in the future, I'll do some more Starkiller fighting breakdowns. Train hard, Light Warriors. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe, like, comment, and consider checking out the other videos on this channel. Stay luminous.